Good morning and welcome to Chatterley Whitfield on the 12th of September 2020 on what would have been Heritage Open Day. As you can see, unfortunately, with all the circumstances that we're living in today, it is quiet. Here on the left is the Hesketh building. This is the powerhouse. This building built 1915. And at the end is the Hesketh headgear. The site now. Here is the lamp house, built in 1922. Still behind us is the Hesketh powerhouse, and then here's the bathhouse and the deployment centre. And we're going to take a wander down towards the Weybridge, built in about 1942. To the left is the old dust laboratories. We used to check all the dust, and then you've got the boiler house over in the back and the famous chimney. Look at her standing proud. Just coming round now is the old engineering shop. Over there is the pipe for middle pit. On the left here is the methane house. All still standing very quietly. Look now to the Winstanley. So today we would have had lots of visitors and we would have been showing them this building. This is the Winstanley. It's what they call an upcast. So didn't take men down. It took materials down, tubs, and its main thing was for ventilation. This is the winding engine to the left, then the wheelhouse there. Yeah, so this built in 1913, 1914, and it's possibly one of the only remaining types of building, and it was actually built by the Germans. The story goes that when they finished building it, the war was coming, so they were not paid for it and also incarcerated. But we don't have actual proof of that, but that's one of the stories. And it, like last year and years before with the hog, it's one of the buildings that really fascinated visitors by the design and sheer scale. Here is a view of the chimney. Just over in the distance you can see the Institute headgear, the chimney for the methane house. The old winding house for the engineer and the Laura shafts that were over there. So the wires went across to your right from this building here in front of me. And if you look on the side here, look on the side here, there's a plate. In 1895, this building was built, and then this building up behind all these trees was built at a later date, like 1905, if I remember rightly. Unfortunately, though, the trees are in the way. And like I said, you can just in the distance to your left see the venting tube for the old mill pit. And if I swing round, just here is the offices that were built in around 1936 when they brought the offices from Tunstall up to here. And then this building here was like, one of its uses was to repair and maintain the tubs that were used to carry the coal, and I think they did electrical work in there. I'll find out for you. And that's building 23. Here's another view of the weighbridge. And then here is a chimney that we're not 100% sure what its use was. One of the things that it might have been used for was an old brickworks. Yeah, stunning views. I'll come back round and I'll show you the boiler house again. It's had 10 Lancaster boilers in. And then 2 of them, if I remember rightly, were converted to methane, and the rest of them were steam. Luckily, when the museum shut in the early 90s, they were saved. And obviously there is the Institute, and there's another view of the Hesketh. As you can see, it's quite a vast building, unfortunately in a bit of disrepair now, but we're hoping to find some pots of money to do it up. Here's another view of the lamp house. It goes all the way back, and then what they used to do, they used to go in there, get their lamp and get their tokens, and then they'd walk across along here and then through where you can see the gates over there, and then they were in the main thing for either pit where they were working on that day. Here's a view of the lamp house. The lamp house, sorry, the bathhouse. And then here you have the deployment centre, where they'd get told where they were working before they go over to the lamp house. And then in here you can actually see a notice to tell the miners some rules and regulations on times, when they had to be here, when they finished, etc, etc. So here is the canteen on the left, and one of the entrances to the deployment. Still there, the bathhouse, vast building, and then you can see the Hesketh powerhouse. And this is what we're going around on, is what is called the safe route. And unfortunately, if we had visitors, we do change the route a bit for Heritage Open days. But normally if we have visitors, like on a Saturday morning, this is the route they would follow. Then, so up there is the seat that the chap used to operate the cables and the wheel for either the men going up and down, or coal coming up and down, and then that used to be driven by that man, and he never moved from that position for 12 hours. Here we have the old locomotive shed. Unfortunately, all locked up, boarded up. So, in the distance there you can see the Platte, Heapstead winding gear. There's a big old tub. Now these weren't used underground. This was far too big. Now this is the route we sort of follow on. So here on the left is the Platte winding gear in all its glory. There you can just about see Hesketh again. And you come down and round. This is the back of that shed that we were just in. And then here is the Platte. Sorry, there's the Platte. This is the Institute. The Chimney. John. Okay, carry on. Yeah, so here we are, looking at
The Walker's standby fan.
And what was its main purpose?
Main purpose was, in the event of a failure of the main colliery fan, you could run the standby one on a reduced ventilation capacity. And but it was there basically when they did maintenance on the main fan, and they would run that temporary over a weekend, probably while they carried out maintenance. The main fan would be the biggest one of the lot, and that's the one that would always be running.
And is this the main fan?
Yes,
that's the main. This is the fan drift, isn't it?
That's the main fan drift there that comes out of the Platte and Institute shafts, because both the Platte and the Institute shafts were upcast shafts, so all the return air out of the pit came out of those two shafts.
Right.
The Hesketh, which is the main one where all the coal drawing was the downcast shaft, so all the air went down there, circulated through the underground workings, and then was extracted by the main fan, which came up the Insti and the Platte shafts.
Brilliant, thank you. We have the chimney, and if you go all the way round over on the far building over there, you hopefully might be able to see a hole. When they had a really bad wind, after they took about 13 foot, was it? Was it 13 foot they dropped off of the chimney, roughly?
About 30 foot.
Oh, 30 foot.
They chopped 30 foot off.
Yeah, they put a metal cap on. Then one very, very windy night, it got blown off. Like I say, it ended up over there. Well, part of it did. And put a big hole.
Knocking a hole in the...
in the Hesketh powerhouse.
Of the Hesketh. Maybe we'll see that the sun's gone down a little bit. So this is the other side of the Hesketh building. We're very, very lucky that, again, during Heritage Open days, this area is accessible to the left. Sorry, yeah, the left of the Harry Centre. So all I've got to do now is we've been doing some sections by the City Council, open source chamber, to look after the site, and part of that site is you're going to just walk down past the back of the Hesca, where you can see obviously from the buildings themselves the
At least you saw it.
During the museum days, you would do a tour of the wine house, and then you would come out to that door there, and then you would go down the white steps out towards the front of the building. If you go round on the end of the Hesca, you go back to the chimney.
See that buzzard over there? You see the buzzard, good.
Probably the world. As you can see, the sidings themselves in the far distance, as you can just about see at the end of this clip, is the Winstanley shaft. That's the building at the far end. Then if you come towards us, we've got the Winstanley, we've got the engine shaft, we've got the middle pit shaft, we've got the Institute shaft, we've got the Platt shaft, and then we've got the Hesca. Out towards the back would have been the Prince Albert 1 and 2, and also the Laura. And the law is the shaft itself, where they had the biggest disaster here in 1881, where 24 men and boys lost their lives. So that was the now shaft. So a beautiful day here, Chatterley Whitfield. We're just very, very sorry that a lot of our supporters cannot join us today. But we're also, as soon as, like I said, we can get arranged for visits to be put back on again, we'll probably be looking at opening on a Saturday morning, one day in the month. But as it stands at present, not likely. Your support is obviously very, very important to us. If you want to see more, we are on Facebook, obviously from this live video. We have a Twitter account and we have an Instagram account, and also you can see us on www.chatterleywhitfieldfriends.org.uk. And if you want to join us for 12 months, the membership can be done online via PayPal. Just look at the site and it says how to become a member, and it's only £5. Thanks for watching and thank you for your support.
This is another view of the Hesketh heapstead, sorry. This used to carry all the materials up and down, and men. And then this here is the tub hall. So when the tops came up, they had like a system inside of that building that fired them under gravity all the way along and around to the railway sidings that is in that area there. And then obviously they went in trains and they got sent whichever type of coal it was, either for the power stations or for housing, house coal, sorry. A beautiful, beautiful building, especially in the sun. So this is the Hesketh engine house, and there's the boilers that powered and drove all these wires, wheels, up and down many times a day. Just over 2,000 feet from here to the bottom, and took about 46 seconds with a tub. So here we have the Hesketh heapstead. Then go down through the gap, hopefully you can see it. Got the blue one, that's the Platt, and then behind is the Institute. All in line.
When the miners could actually ride down the shaft, because obviously there was various speeds according to who went down, what went down. The speed of the shaft was obviously quicker than it was when now men were being taken down to below. So this is here, it's a 1942. So this is just a little bit of a pan round now from the lamphouse area, heading back up towards the buildings at the back of the hospital, and then to our left.